Now to the impact of another Trump nominee. The IBB Biotech ETF down over 7% since the president-elect tapped Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services last Thursday. But it might not be all bad news for healthcare investors. BMO analysts out with a note on Friday writing they are more confident Trump will pick an FDA commissioner with a, quote, robust medical background and ties to the industry, given RFK's lack of medical credentials. Evan David Siegerman is behind that forecast. He joins us now. Evan, great to have you with us. Net, though, because Health and Human Services not only oversees the FDA, but also the CDC, NIH, right, when it comes to research grants, et cetera. I mean, net overall, is the impact on the sector negative or neutral?
You know, I think net, well, we don't know a lot, right? I think RFK is probably not the best for the sector. I've gotten a lot of investor questions on the impact of, the NIH. FDA is still a question. Of course, now we know that Dr. Oz is heading up CMS. He could be in control of things like IRA price negotiation, which, as we all know, has not been great for the sector. So I think there's still going to be some pressure. I do want to see who the FDA commissioner is, because that is what's most critical for the names that I follow.
But you believe that the FDA will eventually be headed by a doctor, somebody who is grounded in science, and are you confident? I mean, you're telling clients that, you know what, this is overdone because we believe that this will happen. That seems like a big risk given this incoming administration and the interesting picks they've outlined so far.
For sure. Well, Dr. Oz is a doctor. He was, yes, on staff at faculty of Columbia. I think it is going to be really important to have someone who understands the ins and outs of drug approvals. I think if RFK looked at an NDA package, it's 1,000 pages. It's really complex. Clearly, there could be some pressure on some, components of drug approvals and whatnot. But still, I think that, Trump will likely come through. And, he did pick someone like Gottlieb in the past, who was instrumental in the whole Operation Warp Speed, which was one of Trump's kind of signature moves at the end of his presidency. He got us the COVID vaccines very, very quickly. So I think he might want to continue running off of that.
Are there valid sell-offs within your sector? Do you believe the vaccine makers, for instance, are those sell-offs warranted?
I don't think that they're warranted. I think that there's a really buying opportunity with someone like Pfizer. Right now, the yield is up almost 7%, which is huge for the pharma space. I think that, names like Merck have also seen weakness. There's just concerns around Gardasil and their vaccine business. But Gardasil concerns are not just in the United States. So I would say this is a buying opportunity. Clearly, a bit of suspended animation until we get more clarity. And, does RFK actually get the nod and confirmation? Who heads up FDA? And, of course, Dr. Oz has to be confirmed as well.
Evidence, Karen, thanks for being on. Back to the vaccines for a minute. How about Moderna, which has been just,
sure,
the absolute, worst of the bunch? How do you think about the stock here?
So I don't cover Moderna, but I can talk about it kind of in broad strokes of the COVID business. I think COVID is, if we're 5 years out of the pandemic, it's more of a stable business for someone like Pfizer. It's not the financial driver, although it is a decent part of their, kind of go forward, revenue base. I think Moderna, from what I understand, they're partnered with Merck on some personalized cancer vaccines, which could be very interesting, could be very important for the company. But again, the fact that we're kind of beyond this COVID phase, we're all done from that. I think that it's probably, you want to look elsewhere in the sector.
What do you make of the sell-offs that we've seen in the GLP-1 makers, Lilly in particular? But Novo also, given we're expected a readout of CagriSema by the end of the year, which could really move the stock.
I was waiting for the GLP-1 question. So on Lilly, Lilly had a rough 3Q. They were highlighting some demand issues, which I think spooked investors. So they really need to come around and, pull out a good 4Q. Of course, we don't get that till late January, early February. In terms of Novo Nordisk, similar boat. They had a rougher 3Q. They actually beat, but they had some concerning kind of qualitative guidance around 2025. In terms of CagriSema, the company's highlighted 25% weight loss bar. And we want to see efficacy, in my view, at least similar to what you see with tirzepatide. That could help them remain competitive. I think this is a bigger catalyst for investors kind of trying to play the name. It's going to be used in a more limited group of patients because of the complexity around the pen. It's a dual-chamber device. Beyond CagriSema for Novo, you also have the potential closing of the Catalent deal, which also gets the same amount of inbounds from investors.